Good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome to today's second episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, folks, this is one of the parts of the dump of information that came last weekend in regards to the JD versus AH case. And folks, don't worry, I am going to link what we have here, because we are not reading through the 337 pages. I thought Judge Bernstein's judgment was long. Right this second, we're mainly just going to be looking at the main page here and going over it. So, what is this about? It says, Memorandum of Law in support of plaintiff John C. Depp. Second, motion to compel defendant nameless one's production of original devices and operating system drives and cloud backups of the original devices as requested in the plaintiff's seventh set of requests for production. Okay, so what is this in regards of? Well, I'm glad you asked. What this is in regards of is that infamous picture done some time ago of how he supposedly threw a phone at her face. Now, we've all been over this before, and literally anyone who works in the medical field will tell you that picture is garbage. Had that actually happened, there would have been a lot more swelling and damage. But what makes this interesting is this means that Johnny is bringing in the experts, ladies and gentlemen. Yes! Thank you, baby Jesus. Oh my God. I've been wanting him to bring in some actual experts for quite some time. Well, folks, it looks like our pleas have not fell on deaf ears. So, what is he doing? He is bringing in a technical forensics expert to go over this alleged picture to see if it has in any way been edited to make AH look like she has suffered from a phone being thrown in her face. Honey, I can see the makeup in your eyebrows. I'm just saying. Bruises don't tend to turn the hair of your eyebrow blue. Just saying, but moving on. So, not only that, but he's going to have, let's see here, Brian Neumeister, Richard Marks, which is an industry expert. I'm not sure what that's about, to be honest. And Sharon J. Curry, psychologist, clinical psychologist. Now, good. This means we get to go to 297. Thank you, Laura. So let's go to 297, and we're going to see exactly what is going on, what we can expect. Excuse it while it loads. Did I mention I'm having technical issues today? Oh, God. Feels like I'm operating off a dial-up again. I thought I got rid of dial-up back in 2002. May it die in a fire. Just saying. I am so done with tech issues, I can't even see straight anymore. Anyways, going to 297, folks. I forget how long-winded court documents are. Nothing against his lawyers. I'm glad they're doing their due diligence. Okay, we're almost there. This page. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and read this, shall we? Plaintiff's designation, identification of expert witnesses. Cheers. We love to see it. We love to see it. Plaintiff John C. Depp II, by and through his undersigned counsel, pursuant to Rule 4-1B4AI of Rules of the Supreme Court of Virginia and the Court Scheduling Order, date June 27th, 2019, and response to interrogatory number 15 in a nameless one's first set of interrogatories dated October 7th, 2019, hereby designates and identifies his expert witnesses. Given the ongoing state of discovery, in particular the continuing document productions from the parties and non-parties, and the fact that depositions of certain key parties and witnesses, specifically nameless one, have yet to occur, plaintiff reserves the right to supplement this expert witness designation to include 1. Identifying additional or different areas of expected testimony for the designated witnesses, and 2. Identifying additional or different bases for the expected testimony of the designated witnesses, and or 3. Designating additional or different expert witnesses. Retain experts. Richard Marks, entertainment industry expert, Richard Marks and Associates, 10573 West Pico Boulevard. No, okay, we're not gonna read that. Mr. Marks has had a long career as an executive and business lawyer in the entertainment industry. Mr. Banya's CV is attached here too as Exhibit C. He is being compensated for his work at the rate of $660 per hour. Oh my God. For consultation and deposition trial preparation time, and a $760 an hour for deposition and trial testimony time. Dear Lord. None of his compensation is contingent on the opinions he renders or the outcome of the litigation. Brian Neuromeister, technical forensics expert, U.S. Forensic LLC. Mr. Neuromeister is a court-certified video, audio, and digital photographic forensics and technical expert with extensive experience analyzing digital evidence and data in law enforcement and legal proceedings. As CEO of USA Forensic LLC, Mr. Neuromeister has over 20 years of experience testifying and consulting for federal and state governments, prosecutors, Fortune 500 companies, and individuals in a variety of aspects concerning analysis of video, photographs, audio, and visual recordings, phone and text messages, and other digital data. He has worked on almost 600 cases in just the past 4 years alone. He has worked as an audio and video forensic consultant for the U.S. Department of Defense and has worked with the U.S. Department of Justice and numerous other governmental agencies as an independent expert. Oh, she's dead. She is freaking dead in court. Mr. Neuromeister has spent 40 years specifically with audio and video, some of which was spent in broadcasting and film, with dozens of awards honoring his work. He has seen how the technological aspect of sound, film, video, and photography has grown exponentially. There are few, if any, forensic experts who have worked through all these changes, both on the creative end and scientific end of this field. Mr. Neuromeister has testified in federal, military, state, and local courts. Currently, he is working on international cases and also on a case pending review before the U.S. Supreme Court. Mr. Neuromeister is expected to testify as to the characteristics of the digital data, in particular videos, audio recordings, photographs, text messages, emails, produced by the nameless one and or non-parties during discovery in this case, on which the nameless one purports to rely for her allegations that Mr. Depp engaged in physical abuse or violence towards her. Specifically, Mr. Neuromeister will testify that the majority of the photographs, text messages, videos, and audio recordings on which H purports to rely for her allegations that Mr. Depp engaged in physical abuse or violence towards her are not authentic and therefore not reliable. For example, Mr. Neumeister will testify as to how easy it is to alter the metadata, as well as the physical appearance of photographs produced by the nameless one, purporting to depict injuries she suffered. Mr. Neumeister will also testify that some of these photographs have been processed through a photograph editing application called Photo 3. Further, Mr. Neumeister will testify as to how the audio recordings produced by the nameless one can easily be altered to add in certain sounds. Finally, Ms. Neumeister will opine the authenticity of Mr. Depp's production of evidence in this case, specifically for information provided after a forensic imaging of Mr. Depp's phone was completed. Mr. Neumeister's opinions will be based on a review of digital data and evidence produced in this case, including photographs of alleged physical injuries and destruction of property, audio and video recordings of Mr. Depp and the Nameless One's text messages and Mr. Depp's text messages, and relevant surveillance videos from the East Columbian building. Mr. Neumeister may also testify as to any fact or opinion rendered or attributed to another witness or party as identified by other parties' witnesses. Plaintiff reserves the right to designate or substitute other witnesses of the same disciplines to testify as to the facts and opinions described herein. Plaintiff further reserves the right to supplement the expert witness designation based on additional facts that the plaintiff learns during discovery and or his ongoing investigation of this matter. In particular, as of the date of this expert designation, the Nameless One has yet to grant access to the original devices, including mobile devices and computers, including laptops and iPads, as well as access to the operating system drives and cloud backups of these original devices for purposes of performing a physical extraction and direct examination of all relevant data from the original devices, as requested in Mr. Depp's seventh set of requests for production, dated February 12, 2021, to Ms. Heard. Mr. Neumeister's CV attached hereto as Exhibit D. He is being compensated for his work at the rate of $575 an hour. None of his compensation is contingent on the opinion he renders or the outcome of the litigation. Shannon J. Curry, clinical psychologist, Curry Psychology Group. Dr. Curry is a clinical psychologist with extensive experience and clinical and research expertise in individual and community trauma, forensic psychology, and relationships, the Gotham method of couples therapy. Currently, Dr. Curry is the owner and director of the Curry Psychology Group, a multi-specialty mental health center in Newport Beach, California. Dr. Curry has 9 years of experience as a licensed clinical psychologist, providing direct therapy and assessment services and supervising masters and doctoral-level clinicians. Prior to becoming a clinical psychologist, Dr. Curry worked for 7 years as a therapist. She is experienced in treating adults, couples, adolescents, children, and families across a diverse range of settings, including community counseling centers, forensic psychiatric hospitals, correctional programs, military facilities, and rural clinics both in the U.S. and abroad, Ayacho, Peru, and La Paz, Mexico. In addition to her clinical work, Dr. Curry is on the board for the University of California, Irvine Center. So, that is all very interesting. And let's talk about it a little bit. It seems to me he's done. And I don't mean he's done with this case. I mean he's done with her. The gloves, as I've said so many times, folks, have finally come off. And we love to see it. I have said over and over and over again, getting in professionals into this case was going to be only a benefit to him. And now he's bringing them all in. We have the tech expert, we have the lawyer, and we have the clinical psychologist. And reading through each and every one of them just tells me one thing. My conclusion to all this, as soon as these folks are done with her and with her evidence, it's over for the nameless one. It really is. And what I find interesting, it's going to be her own words and her own submitted, so to speak, quote unquote, evidence that's going to ultimately take her down in this case. Because he has learned from the UK and he has come to Virginia with the big guns. And it will be very interesting to see how her team is going to try to counteract these experts. And on that note, folks, we're going to go ahead and close out for this afternoon. Now, we don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this afternoon. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have
A good one.
Bye-bye.